Top of the morning, everyone. It is July 22nd as Bill sees it, reading from Definitely a Child of God and a recovering alcoholic addict with that morning coffee. Let's have a moment of silence for those still out there in pain and suffering, please. Thank you. Virtue and self-deception. I used to take comfort from an excurgated belief in my own honesty. My New England kinfolk had taught me the sanctity of all business commitments and contracts, saying, "A man's word is his bond." After this rigorous conditioning, business honesty always came easy. I never flim-flammed anyone. However, this small fragment of readily won virtue did produce some interesting liabilities. I never failed to whip up a fine contempt for those of my fellow Wall Streeters who were prone to shortchange their customers. This was arrogant enough, but the ensuing self-deception proved even worse. My prized business honesty was presently converted into a comfortable cloak under which I could hide the many serious flaws that beset other departments of my life. Being certain of this one virtue, it was easy to conclude that I had them all. For years on end, this prevented me from taking a good look at myself. You know, when I was out there drinking and drunk, and I didn't have any self-deception. It was always me. You know, what can I do? Where can I go drink? When are we going to start drinking? You know, it's like, you know, me. Gimme. You know, I had my good moments at times. You know, I think I was a giver, and wanted to make people happy, but I think it was for the wrong reasons, maybe. I'm growing in this. I'm learning this in a different program, but self-deception is it's tricky because you can get lost, and if you don't do the right things or the next right thing, you could be doing it way wrong. You know, I used to say this because my dad taught me this a long time ago. You know, my words, my bonds, was what it said at the very beginning. You can take my word to the bank. You know, you don't lie, you don't steal, you don't cheat, you don't steal. But you know, I used to say that my word's my bond a lot just because he taught me that, and it wasn't. You know, I'd always tell somebody, "Yeah, I'll be there," or and another party that was better showed up, and I went there, and then I wasn't. My word was left behind. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm leading a different life now than I used to, and it's way better for sure, but still sometimes, you know, when you say something to somebody, you have to live up to it. I get it, circumstances happen, and you might not be able to make good on what you said, but don't make it the small things. You know, always try to live up to what you said. You know, you'll be respected more. And that's what I'm trying to do with me and the way I'm living, and what God's been teaching me and humbling me to do this past year and a half. So I'm very grateful to be able to wake up today and breathe His air, be able to get out of bed. It's just it's the small things. You got to be grateful for what you have, for what He lets me to have and do. And so thank y'all for listening. Be true to yourself. I love y'all very much. I hope y'all have a safe and blessed day. Peace.